Some of you guys might think it's kind of messed up to go from Trainspotting in our last episode to this, but Rugrats recently turned 25, which means all those kids are old enough to be full-on alcoholics by now, or even dope fiends. And that's good enough reasoning for us. Here are 7 things you didn't know about Rugrats. Probably.
I love apple juice. I like apple juice too.
Rugrats was one of the original 3 Nicktoons, which all premiered in August 1991, and it went on to be the most successful Nicktoon out of that first batch. We're talking 172 episodes over 13 years. That is a metric crap ton of drawings. In fact, Rugrats was Nickelodeon's longest running Nicktoon ever until SpongeBob SquarePants took the throne in 2013. He's been living in that pineapple under the sea since 1999, and he's still going strong, with 17 years on the air and over 200 episodes. By the way, that was, boom, a bonus thing you didn't know. A bonus thing that is making me feel like a very old man, so let's move on to the next thing. The baby blue t-shirt and diaper getup was Tommy's signature look throughout Rugrats, except, when it wasn't. In the unaired pilot as well as in the premiere episode, he wears a red shirt. Scandalous, I know. But there's more. Tommy used to have pants, you guys. I guess the creators had their reasons to change his outfit. And babies as young as Tommy aren't really able to understand the concept of dignity anyway, so why bother drawing pants on it?
That sounds mean.
It's kind of the same reason why I never wear pants when I'm narrating the show. Just a diaper.
Hey, what'd you do that for? 'Cause I like ya.
Even though Lil is the only girl of the core 4 Rugrats, Tommy, Chucky, Phil, and Lil were all voiced by women. It's probably not a huge surprise since women often do voice work for younger male characters in movies and TV. What you may not have known is Tommy is also a Powerpuff Girl. And a talking pig. Elizabeth E.G. Daly is the actress who voiced Tommy along with Buttercup, Babe, and a crap ton of other characters. Here's the thing though, Tommy low-key stole Chucky's job. See, E.G. Daly only voiced Babe in the sequel, Babe, Pig in the City. Chucky was actually the original voice of Babe. Not to mention Marty Sherman on The Critic, Dexter of Dexter's Laboratory, Gosselin on Darkwing Duck, Oblina on Real Monsters, and dozens of others. Sadly, Christine Cavanaugh, who did Chucky and all of those other voices, passed away in 2014. That's not a bonus thing, that's just an extremely depressing thing. Like, I am seriously bummed out right now. Ugh, let's move on. The Rugrats music is as memorable as the show itself. We can thank Devo for those iconic songs because it was their frontman Mark Mothersbaugh who came up with the theme music. But most people don't know that we can also thank Mark Mothersbaugh for Chucky's character design. The show creators used Mothersbaugh's thick glasses and wild hair as a jumping off point, a model of sorts for Chucky. Kind of a shame they didn't include the Devo energy dome for Chucky though. That would have been cool. That would have also made me feel really old. God, what is it with this episode? The Simpsons has made a running gag out of making the audience guess where Springfield is, but the Rugrats didn't bother with that. Rugrats takes place in California, and as you can see on this invoice that Dee Dee is signing, the Pickles live at 1258 North Highland. That particular address actually makes pretty good sense, because that's the same address of the Class B Chupo production offices in Los Angeles. That's the company behind the Rugrats and other Nicktoons, including the Wild Thornberrys and Rocket Power. And now that we know where they are, we're totally going over there to demand new episodes of Real Monsters right after these last 2 things.
Excellent! Simply excellent!
I bet you didn't know that the Rugrats were the first animated property to really be able to tell Disney to suck it. Because the Rugrats movie was the first animated movie in history to gross over $100 million that wasn't made by Disney. It was also the first time Nickelodeon had an animated feature film in theaters, period, so it was a really big deal. That was back in 1998. The sequel, Rugrats in Paris, didn't do as well 2 years later, but it still made over $75 million. Unfortunately, the Rugrats Wild Thornberrys crossover that they did in 2003 did poorly, and once the show aired its final episode the following year, it was finally a wrap for the Rugrats. If you don't count All Grown Up. And I do not. Even after Rugrats ended, it went on to have a big afterlife with its fans, including a bizarre conspiracy theory about all the other Rugrats being a figment of Angelica's imagination. Seriously, look it up. Actually, don't look it up, because it's stupid. Anyway, we're betting a lot of you guys didn't know that Reptar bars are real.
Wow! Reptar? A candy bar? That's right, you little babies.
At least they were real, for a moment, back in 2013. Ashley Causey of Smash Bakes in Chino, California made real Reptar bars with the wrappers and everything. And Jackie Lee, another blogger, shared a Reptar bars recipe on her blog, The Weeping Time Lord, promising green tongues for all. Unfortunately, it looks like if you wanted one of these things today, you'd be stuck making it yourself. I'm sure there'd be some kind of lawsuit over copyright if anyone tried to sell Reptar bars, unless you want to sell one only to me and no one else, because that would be totally cool and legal. Just send the candy and an invoice to pervy pantsless narrator, care of CineFix, Hollywood Town, USA. Thanks in advance. Well, we hope you guys learned some new things today. We're all feeling super nostalgic after this one, so we may need you to talk us down from doing more Nicktoons on the show. Rewatching Ren and Stimpy in the name of research sounds like a great day at the office. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for more true-ish things about movies and sometimes cartoons about talking babies from the 90s right here on Things You Didn't Know.
I don't know about that.